button. There we go.
And we are back with our last stretch for the Hounds session and campaign. We are just infiltrating this group of Circle of Flame cultists that are trying to do something that much different to what we are doing. But our crew is doing it better. And we are about to see if Cinder manages to convince the whole crew of the Circle of Flame that they are legit as the mighty Lord Mora, Keeper of the Flame.
Alright, 2 dice. I need those fingers, Rovdyr. Oh my gosh. Not both of them, only one. I got a 2 and a 3.
Oh no!
Oh dear.
So, okay, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's not fine. This is going to be a disaster.
So Lord Mora is the one that's going to be probably about to tell us, no, you're not.
But what? Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
You are doing so good.
You know?
You jinxed it. You said we were doing great.
I know. It might have been on purpose.
You wanted this. What are the consequences? What can I suffer?
That was a desperate roll. So yeah, it's a serious complication, loss of opportunity, yeah, all of that. What happens here is that we'll say that everyone sits still, and then you will hear this very deep voice that will be coming from any one of them. All of them say it at the same time.
Classic.
I'm Lord Mora. And kind of like the ember just into a full on fire. Probably goes straight into you, pushing you back towards the ladders.
I think good.
So that's level 3 harm. Black Devil Flame.
Okay. So let's see how we can. How many different consequences? So I know what I'm resisting or what I. Because I hear the level 3 harm.
So I would say that, the complication is this guy is actually here. Opportunity of infiltrating pretty much, and you also suffered a 3-level harm.
Okay. So I'm not super worried about the person being here. That's probably not the best thing in the world for us, but, Rovdyr, you cause complications for us all the time. You go fix this one.
I'll think this is my turn.
But I would like to resist the harm. So I would like to resist the harm, and I think the Barghest is obviously a little bit different than normal characters, but it has access to all the normal items. I think I'm going to just mark boxes to count as having armor. But rather than saying I'm wearing like a leather vest or something like that, especially since this is flame-related damage or whatever, I'll say that as a Barghest, I'm just like I can absorb the blow better than most would. So that'll knock it down to a level 2 harm instead.
For the record, you could try to resist any of those 3 consequences. So you can resist the guy being there, or you can resist also the blew your cover, but you are resisting the harm. Just so we're clear on that.
Oh, I did not hear you say blowing the cover was resistible. I will resist blowing the cover then.
Sure. Which is interesting because I don't know how we are going to do that, but I'm very curious to see.
Oh, what you said? Oh, sorry, did I say Mora? I meant Laura.
Yeah.
Or maybe emphasize, I am the Circle of Flames chosen.
Yeah, exactly. I think that
doubling
most-
down on that part.
Yeah, that seems
Yeah.
like the most plausible.
Yeah, I never said more. You guys heard me wrong. What for the resistance on blowing the cover? Which category would that fall into? Resolve.
Yes, I think that's resolve.
Okay, so I've got 2 dots in that. So I'll roll 2. And I got 2 6s. I recover 1 stress.
Oh, but oh, you are actually the chosen of the flame. This is actually not.
Is there
Oh, I
anything
wasn't
you would like to
lying.
tell us?
Well, I would have probably gotten that roll first if that was the case, but let's not talk about it. So yeah, that's fine. So I resist blowing the cover, but I get blasted back.
Yeah, and see like the 3-level harm.
Could I try and
2 level
and
for the armor.
Can someone else
Sure.
try and resist or cover that essentially?
I don't think you can resist other people's consequences, as far as I'm. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's fair.
Does anybody else want to step in at this moment, or should Cinder continue this charade?
Feel free.
Yeah, I don't see what I do here.
I think. I mean, yeah, I think the only thing Rovdyr can maybe step in and that kind of deep, growly, Scoveland accent. You've been doing your ritual wrong for centuries. We're here to fix it.
Oh wow.
Bold claim. I like it.
Yeah, I think that one of the other leaders of the Circle of Flame, you kind of see them go towards Mora and kind of just like start whispering stuff. And I think that that probably, brings some sort of inner clashes in between the cult to the forefront. Like this is not something that just came out of nowhere, right? So you like probably go towards the nail in the coffin in that one. So you've got a chance, essentially.
There's a chance.
There's a chance.
It's not the first time someone suspects that we're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the sun hasn't risen yet, so clearly.
I mean, after 200 years, man. Yeah.
Can we open the box? Does somebody have the box on them?
Flashback to. Should we take this fucking thing along? Or...
I kind of want to see what happens.
Yeah. Would that be a good moment for Tethera to burst open through the trap door and, hey, do we still need?
I'm happy to do that if you are, Gia.
Sure, go for it. You would
So,
probably
yeah.
need to attune in order to like control the energy in this thing, so it doesn't like
That's-
burst.
If Tethera
and
brings
I will.
the box in,
Sorry,
can
go ahead.
Cinder be the one attuning? Like, can I try to control the flame out of it?
Sure. So, Tethera comes in with the box. Everyone is kind of like frozen still as the two Moras face each other. The fire is still pretty much lit, so technically the ritual has begun. And yeah, you are going to try to open the box and show them some real fire, or what?
Yeah, I think Tethera, I'm going to mark her. That doesn't cost loads, though. It's got his big, heavy construction boots on, just clump, clump, clump. Very lurch from Adam's family. Just opens it with the top.
Um,
Okay, so, but
You
like,
can't see his eyebrows. You can feel the raised eyebrow as well. You can feel his expression through the mask.
but is Travis still doing the attuning, or how are we going about it?
Yeah. So I would probably, as the better Mora, announce that I have the spirit of the circle, and as Tethera steps in to open this box, I will tell them to all behold the power, and denounce your false idols. This is the bringer of the flame, and then the little serpent thing can fly out, and I'll try to attune to control this thing.
What could go wrong?
I'm even better at that, right? So I've got 2 dice space.
Cool.
I've got -1 die because I just got effed up.
I can take another stress to assist, or do you want to get on this Bittergreen?
Like, what could I do to help is a question.
Help channel the energies? I mean, attune is
Good
kind
vibes.
You could
I guess
probably...
I guess Bittergreen was there in the dream where this happened.
Right.
So we've done this before, kind of.
Huh? Yeah.
Vaguely. You know, the symbols or something, right?
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, I'll take a stress and give you a dice as we reenact that ritual we dreamt of, kind of.
Wow. Holy crap, so you're actually doing the one from the last session where you drew the runes and all of the stuff in the circle in this
yeah.
same floor. That's very cool.
And I'll push myself again using the fiery tempest. For
Okay.
+1. Well, I don't know. Do I need die or effect? I'll go for die because obviously 2 dice isn't enough ever.
Okay, you can go for dice. So this is probably still desperate, and the effect should probably be standard because you've done this before in the dream. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I've got 3 dice. Don't cross all of your fingers, Rovdyr, just 1 set. And I've got a 3, a 4, and a 4.
Very successful.
Stuff happens.
So, oh boy. I really wanted to pull off a consequence, but it would be so jarring right now, but I really wanted to show it. Oh, that's a shame.
So, Mora is Skurlock. What the heck?
Dun dun dun.
Then we're all fired.
Yeah. The consequence is that you're fired. Yeah. I think I know what this is. Oh god. So you managed to start doing this actually unsettling, beautifully intricate ritual, right? So the serpent is going around, and as you are, how are you guiding the serpent in this case?
So it's probably a little bit awkward for Cinder because Cinder spends the majority of their time as a dog. But I think it's even in human form, it's more of a mental thing. It's more of innately known. So the physical actions might not be something that Cinder practices, but it's the natural flow for this form. And I mean, it probably looks very similar to I don't know, outstretched hands kind of guiding the serpent, making gestures with my palm where the serpent's flying, and kind of weaving kind of as these fiery runes start lighting up in the air.
Cool. So you see the fire runes starting to light up in the air. They kind of make this upper plane and start to go down to fuse with the floor essentially. And then how do they burst in? I mean, if they do it by air, it would be so extra. So I think it's going to be by air. You see these figures start to drop into the terrace and also surrounding buildings, and two of them actually are very familiar to you, which is a kid of around 15 years of age, and also a very old person with very long grayish hair and a scarred face. And they are not alone. There's like at least 4 to 5 people around them, and their description should be just around the corner. No, they don't have a description, right? Because they don't have a faction table. Yeah, so they kind of look cultish to you too, but don't have their face covered. They are just like wearing these white cloaks, and you recognize it as the Path of Echoes sort of uniform. And yeah, Carla would just scream, "Give us the box right now! Stop whatever you're doing. We need it."
Check the ritual.
I think Cinder's probably pretty focused.
Yeah, say.
Uh,
I say, Tethera, Higgins, this is your time to shine.
okay, yes. How am I going to handle this? I think it's going to just have to... Sorry, go ahead.
We should probably make a clock for the ritual completion, so I'm going to tick that to 1.
Cool.
And we'll see what goes first, if the ritual or this
How
all...
many?
6. It's got
Okay.
6 seconds.
Can I just think to push the ritual clock up 1 or up a bit with a quick flashback?
Sure, yeah.
So we have this dream essence, the dream of the tortoise, and I think at that point, down at the bottom of the tower, is maybe the parade is arriving.
Oh, okay.
And down there, I want there to be people handing out free drinks to the crowd. Like people, maybe some of our cohorts in robes and masks, so they can't tell that they are not entirely human. And I want them to be giving out drinks laced with this tortoise dream essence. So people down below start having they're already suggestible because they've inhaled these spores, and they start having the same dream of the sun.
Damn. Sure, like who is this person who hands the drinks? Is it someone from under Lord Scorlock's guidance, or do you take them from somewhere else?
What do you think? It could be one of my friends. One of my friends is an inspector and a drug addict.
So those are 2 separate people.
No, that's the same person.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe I've roped in like some friends of mine, like Tawny, and some other like just acquaintances from the nightclubs. And
yeah.
I maybe deal to them now and then some drugs on my own concoction. So I've got them masks and robes, and they're ready to start just being like really friendly with everyone and handing out free drinks.
Hell yeah.
Little hellos.
That's happening. So an aspect of the ritual, which is the masses down there, is already starting to be taken care of. So we are going to take that to 2.
Does that need a roll, or does it need some stress for the flashback?
Yeah, I should probably mark 1 stress for that.
Okay. I think I've figured out how I'm going to handle this now.
Diplomacy.
Yes. I'm going to ask politely. No, I think Tethera is going to use his special ability, Inconceivable. Just trying to figure out if I'm going to do it as a display or as a fight. No, I would like to So I'm just trying to decide how best to describe this. I want to wreck something really overtly and basically say, "Go get out, get out, get out." But I just can't think of anything to wreck that won't mess up the ritual. In fact, no, I've got it. He's just going to
Wreck a
channel the
person.
arcane, do the fist pump thing, and then just reach into the fire, pull out 2 burning brands still on fire, 1 in each hand. "You are profaning the ritual circle! You will leave!" He starts ranting some Hadrathi nonsense, basically. That's pseudo-mystical. Just holding these things burning all the way down to his hand, just blatantly ignoring it. And he's just going to advance on them, making shit out of the way, just trying to be as violently, performatively violent. He's trying to wreck things that aren't very important, but making it look like he could wreck something important if they're still here in 2 minutes. Which will cost me 2 stress for the thing. But I also get benefit of pushing myself.
Yeah, so you're warding them off, essentially.
Yeah, I'm trying to wreck things to intimidate them. It's being mechanical.
Sure. Cool. So the ritual is happening. These people that have just landed are probably going to start to make their way into the terrace. So they like kind of landed in the surrounding buildings and are probably going to start jumping and dashing and climbing in order to get there. And Finn, the kid, actually doesn't want this whole thing to be happening. So he's probably, well, it's hard to see because you are all masked, right?
Mhm.
But he would probably just shout something along the lines of, "Hey, Mr. Dog Friend, I don't think this is all necessary. Can you just, I mean, the box was ours in the first place. Please?"
I don't think Cinder would respond to that, certainly. So I'll see how this goes. But I definitely think it might be an obvious giveaway, having Cinder almost directing this like flaming snake. For the kid, he might be able to easily determine who is actually the ones like interacting out of the crowd.
So you're not going to try to directly follow the ritual?
No, I'm trying to do the ritual that we have established.
Okay.
Knowing the kid, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, going back to what I was doing, do I need to roll anything here?
So these people are going to try to start going towards the terrace, so you can probably roll to see how well you manage to keep them off it.
Actually, going back to that, can we change what I've done? I want to wreck the terrace. I want to just smash that whole balcony off as my feat of strength. Instead of what I said, because I think that'll be cooler and have.
Isn't that
have
where
more
we're
of the-
standing?
Yeah, and that's where
Are we?
the ritual is also
Sorry, I thought we'd
happening.
all gone in. My mistake. Then I won't do that. I misunderstood
Still
what
cooler.
They were landing on.
Start pushing people off, though. I mean,
Which could probably be a skirmish. Seems to be the most fitting. I don't know if you agree.
I'm trying to use wreck so I can take advantage of lay waste as well.
Sure, you can also do wreck. It's just going to give you less effect. If the point is to like keep the people off the terrace.
Yeah, I'm trying to frighten people. Ooh. No, we'll do the safe, more boring thing. I'm just gonna hit the heck out of people with burning wood. A bit of baseball.
So you're still wrecking.
No, I'm just gonna skirmish them.
Okay.
I'm not gonna try and use the blade waste here. But I am still using Inconceivable to get better effect.
Sure. So in that case, you can go for standard desperate.
Oh, so it's supposed to be standard. Standard desperate.
Hmm?
Oh, desperate standard. Right. Yeah. Sorry, I had it back. Right. So yeah. Yeah, that's fine. 2 dice. Let's see. 5 and a 4.
So I'm going to say that the consequence here might be reduced effect. So you manage to keep some of them away, but some of them invariably just climb the tower as you are only a single person and they are a bunch. And I mean, the circle of flame there is still there, but they are not quite sure what side they are on. They're kind of like caught in the middle of a whole thing. So yeah, lots of
You, who, where? Yeah.
ritual. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, some of them are going to start to climb up. I would say that Carla is probably between them. And yeah, they are going to probably go straight for the bonfire. And so yeah, the way I see it, we can probably try to fulfill the ritual as quickly as possible while also keeping them under control,
Can
more or
I
less.
do a flashback to talk to Carla?
Yeah.
So I kind of don't know what they want, and it would be nice. It would be nice to have been to know that. So I would like to. So Carla is a person, a thing.
Question mark?
Conscious being.
You're probably the most person out of the 3 of them.
Oh, there's a third one.
Yeah, mostly a person.
So I would like to. I'd like to have flashback, and then I would like to appear to her in my dream form at some point where I could find her.
Sure.
So in my ghost form, like roaming the outskirts of the city, looking for where she might be.
Yeah, I think you actually run into her very easily.
Yeah.
Because in your dream form, you tend to, I would assume, kind of go through places you already know.
Mm.
I don't know if fully consciously, more of like, as you do in real life, wander through your actual, places in dreams. So after going through the, how did you call it? You said it was a bathhouse?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you're in the bathhouse, you know this place pretty well. It's got some like main rooms, and it's got like a second story, that kind of thing. And you probably catch an aura that's not quite human as the others, and probably find them hiding in one of the basement rooms.
Huh. And so this ghost Bittergreen sort of like strolls up to them, to Carla.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of like, hi.
So.
I didn't expect to see you here.
What were you expecting then?
That's a good question.
Would I just sleep under the river?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Your box. We have it.
And I'm getting it back.
What are you going to do with it?
That is in none of your business.
I mean, we have it, so it kind of is.
Sorry.
Oh, Listen, you and I and your friends are not quite that different.
I agree.
You are failing to try to even be part of this city. But me and the kid, we've got a chance. And that box is our chance.
Who are you going to give it to?
That's none of your business.
Again, kind of is.
What would you do if I told you?
Maybe help you.
And why would you do that?
Because we are not so different.
And they would probably take a step closer towards you, and 1 second you kind of see this stare piercing you right through all of their very, very gray long hair. And if that's the case, why did you try to murder us all?
That was a kind of a practical problem to do with your train. It wasn't personal. What's this person's worst fear?
Oh. I think their worst fear is losing their companions, is to be alone again in the world.
Great, that's now also my worst fear.
Oops, you stuck up.
Oh man, you are just gonna be terrified by the end of it.
Uh,
Well, it's only one at a time, right?
yeah, no.
Oh, never mind. Keep going.
We can. I can promise you that we'll keep the kids safe.
Huh. Do you want to roll for that?
Yeah, that sounds like a sway. No, it's maybe a consort.
Sounds more a concert if you are being sincere, at least.
Yeah,
You don't plan to like slide the kid's throat afterwards.
exactly. Yeah, and I'll push myself for an extra dice.
So that's probably standard risky.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a 1 and a 6.
You did it right. 1 and then 6.
Persuasive. Yeah. Huh.
I like how Bittergreen scenes exclude the possibility of assisting him, because he's always like in a dream,
No way.
in outer space. Like, yeah, I'd like to help him. I also am in outer space.
I
Also,
somehow
after forgetting this song,
somehow ended up in his dream as well.
Always possible.
so when you say that to Carla, I think that she's going to have a quite puzzled look, and if you're willing to help, in that case, oh, that this can get quite spicy actually, because if you've plotted with them that you are going to help, that could actually mean wiping off the path of echoes as the scene is happening right now.
Huh. So potentially we could work with Carla against the Path of Echoes.
Yeah, so it will be the sort of situation where they land and they are threatening to kill you, but you've actually like made this like whole thing where you've pacted to work together, so they might be pretending. Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, we might need sacrifices. This might just be perfect.
So what would the Path of Echoes want to make that deal?
What?
So what would we have to do to make that deal happen?
I think that what they would want from you is probably something that they know, or like something that's of equal arcane power than what the Path of Echoes can offer, and that you could maybe steal from Lord Scorlock, basically.
One of the Kotar bits, maybe.
Well,
Deal,
that's fine.
deal.
Skurlock will die
We
when the sun
promise
rises.
anything. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. We promise anything at this point.
Yeah. That's tomorrow's problem.
That said, I will make clear then that they are probably expecting you to give them that. Like, you probably have to, this is the last session, so we don't have a whole time to like make this a build up. So we are just going to buy into the assumption that as this relationship started to build up, you managed to give them proof that you were actually in possession of the thing that they needed, like the powerful arcane object.
Can I suggest something?
Yeah,
Can I do a quick flashback?
inside the flashback.
Inception.
Inception flashback.
To when we were handing over the arcane essence thing to Lord Skurlock.
Uh-huh.
And maybe it was on, and it
Okay.
takes some of Lord Skurlock's essence, and whoever was carrying it pockets the
Like a sleight of hand type thing.
yeah.
It's like accidentally pricking somebody with a needle and then pocketing the droplet of blood.
Yeah.
I think this actually came up in the last dream, where there was like flashbacks aren't time travel unless they are time travel, which I'm fully into. So I'm not quite sure how to set a cost for that, like besides the rule of cool.
It's probably a roll inside that flashback, isn't it?
What?
It's probably a flashback to that scene with Lord Skurlock, and then someone has to roll the finesse.
Yeah, maybe. Or would they? Yeah, sure. I've got an idea. Sure, go for it. So what do you want to roll? Probably finesse?
Who is doing this?
I do have a dice in finesse.
I was going to suggest, yeah,
Yeah.
Tethera.
I'll also push myself for an extra dice.
I can give you an extra dice. Like when I was pouring that absinthe for Lord Skurlock, that was supposed to be like a distraction for you to do this thing with the pocket the essence of Skurlock.
Okay, so that would take me up to 3 dice, right? Let's see now. That's 2 and a 5 and a 3.
Okay, so I know what happened here. You managed to get Lord Scorlock's tiny bit of essence.
Just a taste, so we taste.
Just like with the tortoise, just like putting things in bottles. It's cute. And I think that some part of it, just like with your... You remember when in last session you kind of like split off and there's like a spooky dream form that's not you anymore? I think the same thing happens. So you know that there's a dream Scorlock that kind of like got severed in the transaction there.
Nice.
Oh no.
That's, yeah.
That sounds cool.
But currently, Teth is holding it in a flask.
Now.
Is this Dream Skurlock the thing that's inside the flask that Tethys is holding?
That's one of the two.
Okay, also there's
That's
another
most
one.
of it.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Like in the whole thing, like you managed to get like 90% score like there, or like,
Yeah.
like that little portion of it, and then 10% kind of like got out of the way.
Nice.
So flashback to the present.
Mm-hmm.
What were we even doing?
Ritual.
I was trying to fend people off, but are we friends now? Or
Your friend with
I've kind of lost
two of
track of
them.
who we're actually friends with and who we're fighting now.
The people in robes.
ghostly two.
You don't like the robe people.
I think the Carla and the kid are friends with us now, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay, so I guess I'm not actually hitting them, I'm just trying. My actions were making it look convincing.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of Path of Echoes people to also hit.
Fair enough. I'm beating ass. I don't know whose. I guess I'm getting the right people.
Let's see. I should probably do something to help out the ritual. I think we said something about causing fear was part of the ritual. So I was looking at the map and what we kind of already established around, and I noticed the zoo isn't that far away from where we are currently. Correct. I would like to do a flashback. So that zoo, which is actually kind of even on the way to the tower, at some point, Rovdyr split off from the group. And we see him going to the zoo and just starting to unlock cages and open things up. And start to spread his kind of spores and all that. And I would kind of like to frame this in the sense of he's using his swarm summoning power to basically just bring everything from the zoo and make it ravenous into the crowd of people.
I would say that the zoo is probably well guarded after you like broke into it last week.
Fair.
Okay, fine.
Fair.
You could probably do that with the beasts that got unleashed on the Charterhall University.
Okay. So then flashback to him, not maybe the zoo, but then rounding up some of the creatures that probably are been running loose a little bit in Duskfall.
Yeah,
the shadow cats, the moths, the
ape crab leech.
Well, yes, the ape crab leech is back.
You could wave it in, but you managed to.
The thing with way too many tentacles, which is probably living in a canal at this point.
Oh yeah.
And I think Rovdyr will pull out a whistle in the present day and blow on it with that weird screaming sound. And there's more screams that continue down below the tower as chaos is unleashed. My specialty.
I actually have a prop for this.
Uh-oh.
If you'll indulge me for a second.
Yes, like that, but loud. Should I roll something to see how effective this ends up being, and how much stress would this cost me?
I think that provided that you are the animal person around and you like held some influence over these things, it's not necessarily a matter of putting them all together, but more about finding them. Mm-hmm. So I would say that it's more of a time intensive thing, that if you wanted to get like every single one or like most of them, that would be like 3 stress.
I'll take 3 stress. I think this is important. Let's bring the whole gang back in.
We're all friends now, literally. So with that gets the scary part in, because there's starting to be some terror in the crowd, so that bumps the clock up to 4 out of the 6 segments. And what else is left? So we had said that the components of the ritual had to be so the spectral box is already in, then the tortoise, I think we used it.
People
the
are
dreams.
dreaming the turtle dream.
We have the turtle dream, the fear, the fire.
The sacrifice?
Is there going to be a sacrifice?
Is there going to be a sacrifice?
I mean, it kind of has to be a sacrifice.
That is how rituals normally work.
Yeah.
Hey, the Path of Echoes is here, just on time. Flashback to, and so the Path of Echoes will show up, and we'll just throw them in the foyer.
That's far too sensible for Rovdyr to be saying.
Yeah, it was a lot more growls and barks and.
What's that? Burn them all.
So, or unless someone else has an idea.
Are we being combated by the Circle of Flames? Are they more confused than ever? Or do they believe me?
Sure.
Could we make like a group command roll to get the Circle of Flame to basically finish helping with this ritual?
Yeah. Like basically, the thing that's happening here that like Lord Mora is kind of like conflicted because he was in charge here, right? But the rest of the ritual are seeing the thing actually work for the first time in their lives. So it's like we don't want to fight the people that are making the thing work.
Is
Even if
anything
that means-
happening in the sky right now?
No,
Not yet.
the flames were kind of fusing into the floor at least for now.
Could I? Can I make Mora the sacrifice? Can I try to like turn from human form into terrifying Barghest flaming dog, and like push Mora into the bonfire?
Oh my god. Yes.
I would say yes. No, but
Have you ever fought a demon before?
I'll say yeah. But is this?
Yeah.
This might be on purpose. I don't know.
I don't know how much you can call it a sacrifice, but
I could give a hand.
We all give a hand.
Literally, in my case.
so sure. I think that if we're, yeah, like what we are missing here is a sacrifice. So it's a matter of how you decide to either bring in the Path of Echoes or the demon, and if you want to like get this circle of flame on your side in the process, you could try. If you think that would, like, maybe it's a setup action.
How do you guys feel? Path of Echoes or Mora?
I think that the Path of Echoes will be more malleable with more out the way. But a demon is certainly maybe more than we
fitting
can handle.
sacrifice.
It is a fitting sacrifice.
Yeah, but it's also a demon. They're kind of a big deal. Just giving him a shove and saying die is probably not going to handle it.
Yeah,
It's
let's
kind
see.
of cool if we say that we resurrected the corpse son by sacrificing a demon. Like,
Yeah, I feel like we have to.
Yeah, we kind of have to now.
Yeah, screw it.
I have Trapper's gear, which has things like a metal drag hook, a snare trap and steel trap and all that.
Good.
Is there anything I could use with that to make this easier to grab Mora?
I'm looking over it. Trapper's here. Yeah, you could probably maybe like put some chains around.
Yeah, like something basically just kind of grab and bind and.
Yeah,
I would
like
imagine this has to be a group effort because I don't think skinny little Rovdyr is going to be dragging a demon into the flames.
What does Mora look like as a person, and does that change when we do this?
Well, he's wearing a mask and robes, so you wouldn't know.
But like, yeah, and so we don't know, so he doesn't change form in any like particular way when we start to attack him.
You will have to try first.
Let's
see.
let's just mess him up.
Yeah.
Wish I hadn't
I
used
would
my.
say-
I was going
Yeah,
to say
I
I wish
want
I hadn't used my special ability, but I have, so whatever.
Yeah. So you want to go the route of going setup actions or group roll?
Group roll, probably.
I like group roll. This is
Yeah.
the kind of finishing touch of we all work together to make this
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah. All right. Go.
I see us trying to lasso him. We've all got a
Yes,
chain.
and
We're
then-
just trying to get him in the middle of it at a key moment.
What would this be?
Skirmish,
Sacrifice?
finesse.
Is
Probably
there a
not prowl or
more
hunt.
action?
I could see Prowl or Hunt actually both working. Hunt in the sense of going after him.
I think hunt works.
Yeah.
Hunt.
You're using trapper's tools. This is like
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I got 1 die.
I got 2 in hunt.
I guess. Can I do my action as a setup for the group?
Yeah.
For the group action?
Sounds good.
Sure.
Because I think, I mean, basically, I'm doing the thing where I turn into a terrifying monster, right? So I've got the one ability where I get +1 die when I transform. If I like transform in front of somebody.
2 shotgun.
And I guess I don't know. I'm kind of looking at this as like wreck, because I mean like I want the bonfire to be more destructive than it already is, and like my innate connection with fire like makes fire out of control. So I want this bonfire to become something that can consume Mora. So I'm thinking of rolling like wreck, like trying to like make the fire just like untamable, even if Mora normally would be able to.
Could I throw my Leviathan blood syringe on it?
You have a Leviathan blood syringe.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he does.
If I inject it myself, it makes me an unstoppable berserker, basically, who can't see friend or foe. But, you know, it's Leviathan blood. Maybe it'll do something cool to a demon.
I love your reasoning there.
Isn't that just like injecting blood into a person, though?
Well, I think it's throwing the blood on the fires is helping
Yeah, maybe the
Cinder
blood on
turn this fire into something
Oh, nice, yeah. Demonic.
Horrifying.
Something like
Yeah, that's very good.
imbued with demon energy.
Leviathan fire.
Amazing.
Oh,
Leviathan. Haha.
Firethan. Yeah.
Leviathan. Yeah, go for it, Travis.
Okay, so I'm gonna be starting at 2 dice then from my base stats, +1 for the ability, -1 for my current injuries. Is there a devil's bargain?
Honestly, at this point, not anything worse than what's likely to happen.
That's fair. I'll just push myself. Oh, yeah. I'll push myself. It's the last 2 stress, so I'll trauma, but
Okay.
that's fine. Do you need to declare position effect?
So you are turning this wicked flame, even having it like with a demonic quality, because Tethera is throwing the Leviathan blood into it. I would even say that you are for a great effect, because you're doing the thing you know how to do best. And yeah, it's just happening. It's probably
I mean, it's a setup action for them, so it's just going to
Yeah.
increase effect for the next roll anyways.
and it's desperate, by the way.
Oh, perfect. My favorite one. 1, 2, 6.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh,
Oh, you...
okay. So the flame bursts into a deep red that starts to be corroded by a black that just like inks it over this almost light sucking quality to it. It starts to become cold as the Leviathan blood spreads over, and you guys have a perfect void to throw your demon in, so please go ahead.
We are
Alrighty.
doing what kind of action?
Hunt. Who would like
Hunt.
to lead?
I have 2 in hunt.
I have 1.
I have 0. Can I suggest a devil's bargain?
I think I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
What do you think I'm going to say?
One of us has to go in the fire too.
That was what I was going to say. I was going to say, whatever happens, the GM gets to roll on the summoned horrors table to see what
Ooh, okay.
what comes out and what we might have to deal with immediately after.
All right. Yeah, because you're like
Like, if you destroy a demon, it may be like stuff comes out,
Yeah.
and it might be throbbing viscera or a consuming orb. Who can say?
yeah.
And I'll say Rovdyr is leading the action just because it's his trapper tools. So I'll take the potential stress cost.
Okay.
So how many dice are you in?
1 for me.
Not for me.
2 for me.
All right.
And you use the devil's bargain for the dice, right?
3.
And
No, he. I'm misunderstanding. Who gets the dice with Devil Bargain?
I still like to get it because otherwise I would have no dice.
Yeah, cool.
Got it. Then yes, absolutely.
And I'm going to say that you bump up to standard effect because Carla and the kid are going to help you. Like, this is going to be the now moment where like they turn back
All or
and
nothing.
yeah.
Nice.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Ugh. 1 and 3. My dice have no sense of occasion.
I got 6.
Oh my god. So imagine there's that dramatic moment of like, I think like Tethera and Rovdyr almost get like thrown into the fire, and then like maybe, I don't know, Bittergreen grabs like on the end of the chain or something like that, gives that last little bit of pull. Oh.
Just like emaciated, junky, Bittergreen Ambrose, just like the final. In fact, no, it should be the kid. It should be like the kid and Bittergreen together that get that.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, sure.
Go into the light.
So it's like you two guys are almost thrown into the fire. You can almost see the black flames start to like wrap around you. And like the kid with almighty strength just like pushes you away and grabs the chain, and with Ambrose like kind of you both like pull it over in different directions, so it kind of like brings the demon into it.
If you want to roll the summoned heart,
No,
table, so it comes out to the flames.
And here we start the epilogue part where things just get weird, man.
I think that's the last 2 ticks for the ritual. Yes.
Exactly. And now it's like final blow, cutscene starts, essentially. So you said demonic table. I cannot find it.
Bottom of the page, summoned
Yeah.
horrors.
Oh, there you go. Lovely. What did I spell? And that's a 5 and a 5. Flowing Quicksilver.
Doesn't sound good.
Quicksilver's. Do you know what Quicksilver is?
Mercury.
Quicksilver is a toxic metallic fluid that opens everyone's minds to the ghost field who come into contact with it. Take +1 to attune, and then suffer level 2 harm zoned out.
That's so good. Yeah, you just all fall unconscious.
And there's Quicksilver everywhere.
Oh.
Dear.
And
Damn.
high above
The sun rises.
rises the sun.
Sun.
Dun, 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 dun.
So as the Quicksilver starts to spread out of this demon's corpse, you see how the blackness of the flame sort of blends with this smoke that just starts to cover everything until it's hard to see. And one by one, everyone starts to fall to their knees until they're eventually unconscious. And not only unconscious, but also dreaming, right? Like this is, everyone starts to dream together. Friends, foes, dogs, it's all the same. I think that we, even like, as the demon starts to burn, that's actually the biggest scare you get out of this whole ritual. The demon's terror as his flesh starts to rot under the fire. And in the horizon, we see something starting to rise. I think it starts, it's like an eclipse where there are these very weak rays of dim orange. That's probably not a tone that you are even used to seeing in this world, right? Like natural orange. That's not here, and it's quite not sure like what's actually real and what's not, because you are seeing all of this through the ghost field as you are sleeping, right? So it's all kind of blended into this dream and reality bridge. And as this black silhouette starts to rise, you'll just keep going up and up and up and up until it's on a high noon, exactly above you. You can even feel it looking directly at you, staring back. And you just see how these black shadows that cover the whole celestial body just kind of start to vanish away. So it starts by the borders of it that start to reveal a circle of the same tone of orange, and then it just keeps growing smaller and smaller and smaller until there's just this blinding light. It's not longer orange anymore. It's like a very strong, immensely powerful white that covers everything and takes color out of everything as you are like essentially caught in this blast of solar flame, it seems. So that's quite something. That's a thing that happens. I don't know if the sun stays here forever, or if it's just a momentarily, like a moment of light that just passes over Duskfall and brings some sort of like unchangeable thing to this world. But if you would like, you can each like tell us what you think happens next. At least through the lens of your character.
I like to leave it very unknown of just
Yeah.
it just fades to white from Rovdyr's vision and who knows what happens. Like maybe there's you know some sounds like of like a bird chirping or something like that of like maybe something returning, but otherwise it's just white, like no actual proof of what's going on, or if it's just the dying dreams of a dead man or something like that.
I picture a flashback. Right, who would have thought? Of Tethera and his creator in one of his quiet conversations. When will you tell me why you made me? It's just well, when the sun comes up. That's when. And he's just thinking about that, watching the light coming towards him. Just like, I hope the answer was worth it.
I've got two ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd like to cut. No. Do you want to cut to Skurlock? Like, what happens to a vampire when the sun comes up?
It's not pretty.
Maybe we don't. Maybe it's best we don't know. Actually,
I almost imagine it's like this, just like panic of like the first time like he doesn't have the stony face, and he's trying to cover windows, but it's getting brighter and brighter outside, and then cuts away before like the light just touches him. So we still get to leave it in our imagination of what happens.
and I also want to cut to the garden in the house. I think like the desert blooms suddenly, like plants, maybe not in the city, but in the Deathlands and in the Lost District, like vines and plants grow quickly, flowering over everything.
I like it.
I kind of feel like, especially with mention of like solar flares or anything like that, like obviously everything in this world is like kind of like a pseudo magic primitive technology, but I feel like the sun is probably powerful enough to like short circuit or fry everything. So probably like the ghost field in general is like shattered, or like all of the parts of it just kind of like the power cores that they use, the electroplasmic power generators and everything, just all kind of like go haywire or like break down, and the barrier kind of falls, which may or may not be the worst thing in the world. I feel like ghosts are simultaneously also affected by this in some way. And it's not like just you broke the ghost barrier and everybody's dead now. I feel like something else happens, but the barrier itself is kind of like irrevocably destroyed or like set back. Like they'll have to redesign this entire thing if it's a thing they need to get going again. But now there's life outside, and Duskwall's the thing that's everything bad is trapped inside.
I think probably the last shot, at least we see of this, if you want to have epilogues later, we can. But I'm picturing like a very early morning tone over the sky. And
Blue
sort of-
skies.
not quite blue, more like grayish, but it's definitely not night.
Right.
And I think that the image we get from this is kind of like a blend, like a fusion of sorts, where you can see how as the sun lit up, some aspects of the ghost field have translated into the actual physical world, and it's kind of all blended into a same patchy, sort of very vibrant, but also very alien sort of like landscape. It's like if you had taken the physical world and the ghost field and you had just like smashed them together, which is not necessarily good or bad. It just kind of is, right?
Yeah. That's cool.
I like
At
it.
least for the NPCs, I think that Carla and Finn are going to just, as they wake up, hug each other. And yeah, if you want to have any other last scenes with your characters, feel free to, but I'm happy with leaving it at that shot.
I think it's
Yeah, I like if we don't know whether the sun goes down or not.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a
Like ambiguous. It might be like an hour or a day, or that it might be just that now.
a moment. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
On my part.
And that's
Yeah,
Blade in the
I'm-
Dark, the Hound.
Ah, kind of almost a happy ending. I you know, almost, maybe a little bit.
By horror standards.
Huh.
Whew, so that was something.
That was very cool.
I liked it. I ended with one stress away from traumaing out again.
Same.
I think same for me as well. Just check. Oh no, I've got 3. Loads.
Oh, you were
I'm
fine. You could keep going.
You were taking so much stress. I don't know how you didn't like trauma out the entire
Oh, I definitely followed the rule of playing the character like a stolen car. There's no rubber left in the wheels. It's just full.
Awesome. So I hope you had fun playing this. I definitely had a blast.
Yes,
Absolutely.
definitely really fun. Thank you
It's
so
a very
much.
cool
Ryan.
playbook
Thanks so much.
and a cool crew type. Well, and a cool GM.
Yes.
Thank you. And cool players. So yeah, I feel we ended up with a very curious brand of horror that I was very into. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope you had a fun time. All of these episodes will be up on YouTube. You should probably keep an eye out both on the YouTube and on the Twitch channel, because after this stream there's going to be a new series starting. I know that there are some plans for some Asphalt and Trouble, which is going to be very cool. Motorcycles into a post-apocalyptic setting. And yeah, do feel free to follow us also on Twitter at Hacked in the Dark. And that's it from us today. I've been Emma, your GM for today. You can find me online at Spooky Meal. And yeah, hope to see you around. Jared, would you like to go next?
Yes, sorry. I've been Jared. Not too much work to find. I may be in this next Asphalt and Trouble game, so maybe you'll see more of me around. Otherwise, I'll pass it on.
Thanks. I am Francis. You can find the Psychonaut playbook and other game stuff at robotfrancis.itch.io.
Who's supposed to be next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Hi, my name is Craig at Anchor's Ace Online. I don't have anything to promote, but this was a good playbook by Scotto. I don't think I mentioned his name at the start.
And I'm Travis. You can find me on Twitter at Octosplosion. Just making random stuff every once in a while, or just chatting about RPG stuff. And yeah, I also might be involved in the Ashfall in Trouble, which I have gotten to play once before, and definitely a very cool game. Super excited about that.
Awesome. So thank you so much for joining us again. This has been The Haunts, a crew sheet written by Aaron Dixon, which you can find on itch pretty easily, alongside all of the other Unusual Suspects Jam submissions, which have been basically the Crewbook, all the playbooks that our lovely players brought into the game, and like over 100 others. So if you would like to check them out, go there. They are very cool. So thank you all again, and we'll see you around. Bye bye.